There are countless motivational videos on self-discipline, but we must put into practice what we know. Here lies the importance of self-discipline. The Oxford Dictionary defines self-discipline as the ability to make yourself do something, especially something difficult or unpleasant. So, how can you build self-discipline? Marcus Aurelius, who was an emperor of Rome and Stoic philosopher, offers some practical advice. First, identify your purpose. Do you ever think when you wake up in the morning that this is not your calling? How will you figure out what you are meant to do? It's time to start writing in a journal. Take some time to write down 3 things that are important to you. Marcus Aurelius says, "I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for?" In other words, everyone has a purpose on earth, something they were made to do. Therefore, it is your job to fulfill that purpose, because purpose is what gets you out of bed in the morning and makes life worth living. If you know what your goals are and how your tasks fit into them, you are much more likely to reach your goals. Having a reason to do something is the best way to get yourself to do it. If you're not sure what to do, just get started. Run every day if you want to be a long-distance runner. You don't need help or motivation to do anything you want to do. Just start doing something you're interested in and take each day as it comes. Your purpose will give you the desire, energy, and motivation you need to get closer to your goal. Self-discipline is about finding good reasons to do something and then making a promise to do it all the way through. The discipline we need comes from realizing that it's in our nature to put in effort toward a goal we care about.
Second, count on yourself. As Aurelius puts it, you should turn your desire into stone. Quench your appetites. Keep your mind centered on itself. That is to say that once you have a clear purpose, you should create a workable action plan to help you reach your objective. Instead of merely committing to your goals, you should also commit to all the baby steps you'll take to get there. No matter what obstacles stand in the way, you must be fully committed to doing whatever is necessary to complete the task. You need to be totally dedicated to overcoming any obstacles that stand in your way as you work toward your objectives. Self-discipline is the ability to get yourself to act, to accomplish what you need to do, despite your current state of mind, body, or emotions. Your capacity to motivate yourself to take the necessary measures to achieve your goals, regardless of whether or not you feel like it, will determine whether or not you succeed in achieving what you want in life. Creating a plan of action that includes a deadline for success is a good place to start. It needs to be based on smaller, intermediate goals that help you feel accomplished along the way. To reach your goals in manageable chunks of time and effort, set a series of smaller benchmarks along the way. Employing this strategy positions you as the primary decision maker. It makes you feel like you're in charge of the things you're making progress on. The ultimate goal is to prevent yourself from giving in to complete exhaustion. Procrastination is an easy out from feeling overwhelmed, and it may easily lead to a halt in forward momentum.
Third, show up every day. I love the way Aurelius puts it. He says that you must build up your life action by action and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible, and no one can keep you from this. Put simply, he is emphasizing the importance of consistency. Mental endurance is greatly improved by simply showing up and devoting yourself to your craft. You develop focus and accept the difficult procedure required to do anything worthwhile. Before you see any of the rewards, you have to put in many hours of work. Self-discipline is about finding the drive to persist in doing something until you start to see results. If you want to become a professional basketball player, you have to keep training consistently and remain motivated until you start seeing the results.
Fourth, practice voluntary hardship. According to Marcus Aurelius, We should discipline ourselves in small things, and from these progress to things of greater value. In other words, you should make life uncomfortable for yourself in some way and routinely challenge yourself, and by doing so, you are hardening yourself in preparation for the day when you might actually have to live it. For example, you can make life uncomfortable for yourself in some way by going hungry for several hours. Doing so will enable you to understand living for several hours without food and will enable you to be prepared should you have to go for several hours without food in a real-life situation.
Fifth, practice dichotomy of control. To quote Marcus Aurelius, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Put differently, you can control certain things while others are out of your hands. For example, you have no control over the weather or over people's thoughts, but you have control over your actions and beliefs. Of course, attempting to control the uncontrollable has no effect, leaving you feeling helpless, disappointed, ineffectual, furious, etc. You may concentrate your time and attention on acting in the areas that are under your control and make progress when you are able to identify what is under your control. Hence, you become a lot more effective and efficient as a result.
Sixth, never play the victim. As Aurelius puts it, do your job without whining. You need to take responsibility. Even if you are not at fault, your life will be in danger if you don't take charge of the things that are in your hands. You have to reframe these situations in this way so that you don't automatically feel sorry for yourself. When anything goes wrong, it's much simpler to place responsibility on someone else. Be the person who takes charge instead of the bystander who points fingers, because only those with mental fortitude can step up even when it's not their fault and right the ship. Victimizing oneself or one's current situation is a way to avoid taking responsibility for one's actions and to give up control. Without a feeling of responsibility, it's next to impossible to make any real progress.
Seventh, practice delayed gratification. This is perfectly captured in the following quote of Marcus Aurelius: "So you were born to feel nice. Instead of doing things and experiencing them, don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders and bees going about their individual tasks putting the world in order, as best they can, and you are not willing to do your job as human being? Why aren't you running to do what nature demands?" Delayed gratification is the practice of accepting hardship and suffering in the present in order to improve yourself in later. Delaying gratification is commonly viewed as fundamental to self-discipline, which is defined as the ability to resist temptation and persist in pursuit of one's goals despite external motivations. We delay gratification now in the hopes of gaining a more desirable outcome later. For instance, if you are saving money towards buying a car and a group of friends will be traveling to a luxurious touristic destination, where they will stay for 3 months. If you give in and join them, you might derail your plan of buying the car in the next 3 months, but you'll receive some quick gratification. If you can control yourself long enough to continue saving without traveling, you will likely be rewarded even more handsomely in the future by purchasing your desired car.
Eighth, ignore naysayers. To quote Marcus Aurelius, when another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they should hold any particular opinion about you. Every time you deviate from the usual and state that you think you have a unique mission in life and that you are willing to do whatever it takes to fulfill it, you will draw skeptics. People that criticize, object to, or oppose anything are known as naysayers. The doubters like voicing their opposition. Despite the fact that they may love you, their opposition to everything and fear of growth are horrible for your self-control. You must understand that allowing yourself to become upset over the viewpoint of someone you don't respect or know is just as silly as becoming upset over the weather. It is an energy waster. They don't deserve to have their voice heard. Don't allow outsiders to upset your peace of mind as they please. You should proactively look for frank criticism from people you respect. Ignore people who have a history of being doubters.
The 9th point is, find wise people to emulate. I will quote Aurelius. It will even do to socialize with men of good character in order to model your life on theirs, whether you choose someone living or someone from the past. Also, he said, and I quote, take a good hard look at people's ruling principle, especially of the wise, what they run away from and what they seek out. In other words, it is important to explore outside yourself for answers that can increase your self-discipline. Start by identifying your role models. Your role models could be friends, acquaintances, family members, etc., who have already attained the goal you are pursuing. It is helpful to ask the following questions: who is performing this right now? Who has successfully accomplished this objective? Who has effectively mastered this? Who possesses the required self-discipline in this area? What can I gain from this individual? Then, ask this individual how they maintained self-discipline. Then, use their experience to help you develop self-discipline on your own journey. Remember that there is no such thing as a flawless person, yet everyone has qualities to appreciate and emulate.
The 10th point, honestly review your day. Again, I will quote Marcus Aurelius. These are the characteristics of the rational soul: self-awareness, self-examination, self-determination. It succeeds in its own purpose. One of the most effective strategies to become more disciplined is to examine yourself and identify your weaknesses. Utilize this moment to communicate with your subconscious by being brutally honest. Consistently engaging in nightly introspections will allow you to become more self-aware during the entire day, as you will be actively gathering data to formulate and explain constructive replies to these questions. What did I do well today? Where was my self-discipline and self-control evaluated? What did I perform poorly? Why did this happen? How can I get better? Doing so enables you to know where and how to get better tomorrow, but don't be too hard on yourself. Consider what went well so that you can duplicate it tomorrow. Be thankful for the positive events that occurred today. What are your thoughts on Marcus Aurelius' ideas about how to build self-discipline? Leave a comment. Also, if you like our video, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel.